The Nebraska Platte River Valley is home to a unique ecosystem defined by the river's imprint on the land and the countless species of plants and animals that exist in this area. Historically, the Platte River was much wider and ran freer than the river we see today. Now there are dozens of dams between the Crane Trust location and the headwaters of the Platte River. In the 1970s, a lawsuit was filed over concerns about how one dam might affect water flow for irrigation and the safety of the endangered whooping crane. The Crane Trust was created as a result of this lawsuit and was tasked with the mission of protecting and maintaining critical habitat along the Big Bend region of the Platte River. Since being formed in 1978, the Crane Trust has been working to protect this land and restore these Nebraska prairies to their historic integrity. In 2015, after 37 years of work and incredible progress, it was apparent something was missing from these native prairies. The Great North American Bison. Often referred to as the North American buffalo, and recognized as the national mammal of the United States, the largest mammal in North America used to roam these prairies freely, and their population exceeded 50 million. Throughout North America, the bison were once the dominant mammal, weighing in at over 2,000 pounds, having the ability to run up to 35 miles per hour and jump 6 feet. Bison roamed in herds stretching on for miles, often delaying travel for early settlers. But in the 1870s and 1880s, this all changed. Following what has come to be known as the Great Slaughter, the North American bison numbers dwindled to as few as 1,000, with less than 100 roaming free. Following this near extinction, many of the remaining bison in the late 1800s and early 1900s were bred with cattle. Today, the bison population in North America has grown to roughly 500,000. While the population has grown significantly, only 2 to 3% of today's bison are genetically pure, meaning they were not bred with cattle. Although this population is small, there is much work being done amongst conservation organizations, national parks, and many others to ensure their growth and genetic diversity. In 2015, the Crane Trust proudly became one of these organizations and reintroduced the North American bison to their prairies after a 150-year absence. The Crane Trust's bison herd is genetically pure, and these prairies are now a refuge for these bison to roam the plains once again. This reintroduction is much more than a homecoming for the bison. It also marks a significant step in the Crane Trust's conservation efforts. As the dominant mammal returns to these historic prairies, the ecological benefits are being measured and monitored by the Crane Trust's team of scientists and land management experts. The bison's impact on native prairies is unmatched by any other animal or man-made attempts. Take, for example, the bison's grazing habits. The structure of a bison's jaw, hooves, and their movement as a herd disturbs the ground in unique ways, encouraging the growth of native plants and grasses. This results in prairies closely reflecting those of centuries ago. Referred to as ecosystem engineers, the bison also benefit the entire grassland community. Plants and animals such as upland sandpipers, tiger salamanders, Missouri goldenrods, and many others have been found in these unique ecosystems called wallows, which are created by bison. The Crane Trust continually studies the impact of the bison's return to these historic prairies and is leading scientific progress in the region. The Crane Trust also works with other conservation herds to continue increasing the genetic diversity and overall health and well-being of the bison population. As the Crane Trust celebrates decades of protecting this historic habitat, the work is not done. By expanding our footprint to protect and restore larger areas of the prairie, the potential for the North American bison to roam free once again becomes a possibility.